Now that we've blocked out the colors for your painting, we're going to move on to one of my favorite parts of this process, is adding the details. So let's get started. Now that we have blocked in all your colors and have all our layers of shapes, it is time for the fun part, adding the details. Sometimes I just really cannot wait to get to this stage and I just want to skip the first part altogether. But it is important though to have everything prepared to make it easier to work on. And so we're trying to maximize workflow here. So let's get started. Adding details to your piece is going to be pretty straightforward. Just like the last lesson, pick the layers of each object and start adding dark and light colors. You want to think of this as rendering your piece, and you want to make each object pop out. Don't forget, adding value to any object is going to create this form that is going to make all these objects look more believable and have lighting to it. Also, keep using those Photoshop tools at your disposal. The lasso tool is one of my favorites still to reach out for, especially for hard-edged objects. And you just want to stencil out some of those shadow shapes, you can do that with the lasso tool. For example, I want to render this rock in the foreground. Right now it's just a plain gray shape, but let's say I want to add more light to it so I know that there's a different plane on it other than just a gray blob. So I'm going to use my move tool and pick the rocks. And I'm going to continue using the clipping mask. It comes in super handy because I can have all the layers grouped to one object and I don't have to worry about painting outside the line. Create that. Again, doing a layer mask, you just create a new layer, hold Alt between two layers, and this symbol will come up. And now I can just paint inside this gray part. So I just want to add some lighting to it. I'm going to use the lasso tool and maybe draw the shape. Here I can start adding details as well. Right now here on this left rock I started adding little chips and dents. A rock isn't flat or smooth, there's different types of textures to it. Another important thing to think about during this process is to add details. Details help tell the story of your painting. Like a character design, you want to know the condition of this place. I want to make this place look a little abandoned, but there's still people passing by here and there. So I kind of want to add some wear and tear. To do that, I've kind of provided some Photoshop brushes that might be able to help you achieve that. So here's a catalog of brushes that I've provided. There's 7 brushes in total, each with different properties and can achieve different types of wear and tear or any kind of other textures that you want to add to your painting. For this painting, I might use more of the sponge and texture brush. As you can see, I also listed some good ideas and uses that these brushes could be used for. So some of the things that I might want to use some of those texture brushes for is maybe this foreground here. It's very flat at the moment. I kind of want to add that round texture. I'm going to layer clip another mask on top of it. You can also add several other variations of colors, add a little bit more interest to it. You can switch between textured brushes. Yeah, so continue to use the brushes to your advantage and use your own ones if you have some that you prefer as well. And these are a great way to add just more interest. Another thing you want to remember at this stage is to continue to look at your reference. They are always there to help you. Let's say I want to paint some of that wear and tear on this building. I'm not quite sure how to go about it, so I'm going to go back to my inspiration that I've shared. And I really love this picture of this green-red Texaco building. And I just love that there's different stains to make it look like it's a lot older, and some of the paint that is on the color that have chipped away and some dirt added onto it. Maybe this building used to be white, so there's some brown, yellow stains on it, and I want to add some of that to this building. You can start to see that it's starting to look old and dirty. You can see that there's paint chips from the white building showing. I can add some of that main building color onto the blue paint chip. Experiment different brushes and see how each outcome looks. So yeah, take your time and slowly start to chip away at what you want to add to this painting. And here is the final look with all the details inside. As you can see, it has progressed a lot more than how it looked like at the beginning of this lesson. Let me zoom in and show you what I've added and any kind of things that you want to look out for when doing this process. So looking back and forth through my references and inspiration has really helped me figure out what to put within this painting and what are great ideas to add to give this whole entire abandoned mart character. So I think what I've done most with the color while I was painting was adding the grime and the dirt and the torn up parts. Like this gas station signage, there's some torn up bits, missing paint, griminess on the signage to show how old it is, how long it's been standing here. And I think I've particularly had so much more fun putting all that paint chipping and wear and tear and dirt on the paint of the walls, and then actually adding these paint chip details that were in the inspiration that I had. I've also added some of that rustiness to the gas pumps. And I really didn't shy away using the different texture brushes provided. I've kind of experimented a bit too. A lot of the wood textures, I've used the bristle just to create that coarse, rough texture that a lot of old wood has. For a lot of the ground, I've mixed using the sponge brushes as well, and then also using the lasso tool to make sharper shapes. As you can see on the wall, with the fading of the paint as well as that dark dirtiness of it for this building standing for so long, the bristle brush just to make that dry brush look. I've also added some lines back into the design to create more details to show different texture surfaces. There's wood markings to show that there's wood. Cactuses have grooves. I've added lines and spikes to show that they are cactuses. Like this Mart sign, I've kind of taken away some of the color to show that some of the paint has chipped away for a very long time. In the foreground here, I've added detail to some of the cactuses. I didn't add too much because I wanted most of the detail to be focused on the building. And one more thing, I've designed this windmill to have perfect blades, but I thought, what's another way to show that it's been broken for a while? So let's add some chips and some tears in the blades. I did that in the color process. Remember, this process will take quite some time as you're trying to figure out what you really want vinyl painting to start looking like. Really take the time to look at your references and take a look at each of the details of every single object that you're painting. If you're starting out with this process and you're pretty new, don't worry if it takes a long time, or don't be too mad at yourself if it doesn't look the way that you want it to look. A lot of this does take a lot of practice and a lot of painting different types of paintings. So just take it slow, take it easy, but at the end of the day, all you want to do is have fun and just enjoy your painting. Don't forget to take your time at this stage. Add as many details as you want. In the next lesson, we're going to add some light to this painting.